Thanks very much for that intro, and very nice to meet you guys today. My name is Brian Skanderbeg, and I'm the founding CEO of GFG Resources. We've been around since 2016. GFG is go for gold. It's actually a gift from God as well, too, just for those that play the other side of things. Cautionary statement. I think we're all optimists in this space. I'm an explorationist. I'm a geologist. I will make forward-looking statements, so certainly reference our language here. We're a district-scale explorer focused in Timmins. Timmins is one of the best gold provinces in the world, and I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about that today. We're a team that's done it before, and I think as you're looking at the investment landscape, you really got to focus on the people. So have a good look at this team. This team has found mines, operated them, developed them, and sold them, generated a lot of value for our shareholders over time. Tier 1 mining jurisdictions. There's very few places in the world you can go to and find as much gold as Timmins. That's why we went there, and it's where we're focusing all of our capital. And if you want to be an explorationist and a successful explorationist, you really need to be aggressive. You need to have a balance sheet. You need to think differently. How are we going to find things that people have not found before? We need to look differently. So that's a piece that's you're going to see embedded in our strategy as I go through this presentation, is how we're being aggressive and disruptive and looking at data differently. On the share structure and capital market side, we're about a 50 million market cap company. We're well financed with about $6.5 million in cash or receivables. There's $1 million payment coming later this year. We also own an equity position for about another $1 million. So we're very well financed for the remainder of 2025 and well into and through 2026 as well. I'm quite proud of our share base. These are sophisticated shareholders. Alamos is our largest shareholder with 11% of the company. Lundin Group is in that institutional piece. We also have very broad institutional holding here in Europe. Gold 2000 would be in that group, as well as a number of very prominent U.S. institutions. Insider ownership is around 5%. I would personally own around 7 million shares. My cost base is around 20 cents, so I don't have cheap stock. I'm in the same pool as any other investor out here. The chart looks great. Thank you very much for the lead into that. Last 12 months has been great. Good exploration results drove this company off 8 cents. Doubled our market cap, and we continued to move in a very positive trend. The balance sheet was shored up through the exercising of almost 30 million warrants back about 6 months ago. That brought 4 million into the structure. We've recently completed another $3 million financing. So this is a cashed-up company on a very good trend and a very good technical-looking chart here. When we think about exploration, and I don't want to get hung up on this slide, relevant discoveries are bought these days, and particularly when you're working in jurisdictions like Timmins. Companies like GFG, I think, are one of the few companies that have a very good chance of making new discoveries. We work in very productive belts. We're looking at innovative data-driven exploration. We've put the team together, and we've put the belt and the land together already. So this is a bit on how to pick your quality greenfield explorers. When I look at Timmins and compare it to the rest of the world, there's 150 million ounces of gold in that map, historically mined or current reserves and resources. There's no place like it in the world that has that large of endowment. Equally important, there's a lot of cover rocks here, till cover, soil cover. This preserves endowment. So as an explorationist, I want to find the deposits in the districts that haven't been found yet. So I need to go to places like Timmins and find areas where there's big deposits, and there's big deposits yet to be found near surface. That's why we went to Timmins. Equally important, infrastructure. This drives the economics of any discovery. Seven mills in that map. There's 75,000 tons a day of processing capacity in there. Cutoff grade of many of these is around the 0.3 to 0.2 grams per ton. Big bulk tonnage. There's also high-grade underground ore bodies. This is very key in terms of generating a discovery and an economic discovery. Our size threshold is significantly smaller to make an economic discovery in this belt because of all that infrastructure. There's natural buyers. There's 7 producers in this map. That's a great path. It's a great place to make a discovery. So these are all the reasons we work in Timmins. GFG controls 800 square kilometers in 3 land positions. Gold Arm is the area east of Timmins. It's the area I'm going to spend most of my time talking towards. The Pen and Dore projects are earlier stage. They're west of Timmins. But I would point out Newmont, Alamos, Agnico Eagle, Pan American, McEwen, IM Gold, These are all mid-tier or major gold producers that have infrastructure surrounding us. Aljo. Aljo is our most advanced asset, and it sits east of Timmins. This is a 30-kilometer strike length project, 200 square kilometers of ground, highway immediately adjacent to us, 4 mills within 15 kilometers of here. What a great place to make a discovery. And that property is largely covered in between 10 and 20 meters of till. So that's preserved your discovery potential here. Aljo's on the east end of that. For anybody that follows this belt, Onyx has announced a very strong discovery here about a month ago. They're just off our property boundary, about 4 kilometers to the east of us. Also a good story there. We're active on Aljo. We're going to drill some more into Carr this year. And these are all targets that are advancing in a very infrastructure proximal area. It's a pretty detailed slide. As a geologist, I take a lot out of this. What do I want you to take out of this? This is an old mine. It's an old mine from the 1920s and 30s. It was a half ounce per ton mine that produced around 30,000 ounces. So there's a gold system there, and it's high grade. Initially, the mining was down to about 100 meters, relatively small scale. That map on the left shows you the cross section. The gray area shaded is the historic mine workings. The first holes we put into here showed there wasn't just one vein here. We drilled holes that had 9 different veins in the same hole hosting visible gold. 30 holes later, we've shored up a hang wall zone, a main zone, and 3 footwall zones, and we're continuing to find more here. If you looked at the technical chart back to last August, there was drill results that drove the needle and that changed the path of this company. Those were Aljo drill results, 23 grams over 8 meters and 13 grams over 7 meters in the same hole. We continue to drill here. We'll allocate about 6,000 meters to this target this year. We have results pending still, and we'll be active with the drill there later this year as well, too. This is our most advanced project. It has a chance to get to a resource that's economic in a very productive camp like this. 12 to 18 months, I think we should be looking at that path and that time frame to develop a resource here. And this is the most aggressive drilling program in our focus for our company in terms of capital expenditure. But we have 800 square kilometers. We have other deposits. Montclair is 15,000 meters of drilling. It's a system where we're doing some metallurgical testing on. Remains open at depth, remains open at strike. We can probably see a 500,000 size potential here right now. I like this. We're doing some met testing. We'll see where it goes, and we're putting our capital in some other projects in terms of drilling right now. And then I think about the target pipeline behind that. This is the discovery phase of our business. Gold Arm, Penn, and Doré all have very relevant discovery potential on them. I would flag Gold Arm as the top of our list in terms of the remainder of the year. I would flag Penn as one that we have pending results. I'm going to speak towards a couple targets we've tested on there. The point of this is this company has a full pipeline of advanced projects like Aljo and like Montclair, and it has a pipeline of earlier stage projects across our 800 square kilometers of ground. And those are all within trucking distance to Timmins. So this is the real key thing here. Any discovery can go to any of these mills here, and there's lots of people that would be looking at feed. From a strategy perspective, this is our approach. That map is about 30 kilometers across. Very limited drilling in this area. It's a tough target. It's under a swamp. It's under 30 or 40 meters of till. So we ran a bunch of sonic holes out here. We were just sampling the till. We're trying to find a blind new gold system underneath the till sheet. One of those holes hit 5 grams. We shaped that up into 6 targets. This was last year's work, and we drilled these in Q1. Assays pending on 8 holes. This is greenfield discovery type targets in a very infrastructure proximal setting. There's a highway just north off this map. So expect us to get some of these results to the market in the next month or so. We also did very extensive geophysics here, 60 line kilometers of IP, and a bunch more sonic drilling. So we're still generating new targets. We're constantly building new targets across this pipeline. And in the Alpha through Echo and Foxtrot, these are all very strong targets that we're testing and continuing to develop. Down our pipeline is Doré. It's the 3rd project. It's still 200 square kilometers. This is a massive land package. IM Gold's Côté project is just off that map to the east. Borden, which was just acquired by Discovery Silver, is just to the left off that map. And the Evolution, the Aussie exploration or Aussie producing companies exploring to the south of us. So 3 established producers on each side of us, hosting between 5 and 20 million ounce resources. Hopefully we get this to drill stage this year. The triangles you see there are all till samples. That's how we vector into new gold systems. It's showing us good anomalism in the till. And good anomalism and till typically relates to anomalism and gold in the bedrock. And that's what really the focus is here at Doré. So when we stand back and think about GFG's mindset for this year and our business plan, we're going to drill 9,200 meters. To date, we've drilled about 4,500. So about half the drill program's been executed, and we have pending results on a number of those targets. The second half of the year, also 4,500 meters. Gold Arm is the focus. That's the Aljo target. Also greenfield drilling on there. The Pen is the Muskego target, where we have pending results on some of our greenfield discoveries and sort of initial phase of drilling targets. And then Doré, as I said, is the bottom of the pipeline. So one of the things I'm quite proud of is this fulsome pipeline that we have. Many exploration companies have a singular or one or two targets. We have 800 square kilometers. We've got advanced targets that are moving to resource. We have new targets that could drive new discoveries, and we're moving that all forward through each of our business plans on these three properties. And when I stand back and think about GFG as a whole, we've been in Timmins for 7 years. We've consolidated this land position through buying companies, purchase and sale agreements. We've probably done 30 deals in this belt. And we did it at a time of the cycle where Timmins wasn't that competitive. So we saw what was coming for Timmins and moved back in 2017 and 18, and I think we're in a great position now. So we've consolidated at an off-cycle time. We're a technical team. We found mines before. Most of this management comes from a company called Claude Resources. We found a new ore body at Claude. It translated the company, transformed the company into a very profitable producer, and we sold that to SSR in 2016. So this is a team that can find mines, develop mines, operate them, and we're quite transaction-oriented. When we think about the ability to drive and build value, you need money to do it. I look at our share base. I look at the corporate and the institutional holders. These are long-term seasoned investors in the gold space. These are the types of people you want to pair with and you want to see in your share structure. So there's a good, strong ability to finance within this company. Dollars in the ground. Our goal is 80% of the corporate spends in the ground. Our G&A is about $1.3 million per year. Everything else goes in the ground, and that's really our commitment to our shareholders is maximizing their dollars and putting them in the ground to find the next Timmins gold mine. And when we think about 2025, we think about record gold prices, we think about when we want to be aggressive, now is the time. So GFG has got a great balance sheet. It's got a great budget for this year. There's a lot of catalysts through this year and into 2026, and I think it's a great time to make a new discovery in Timmins. So with that, we've got 2 minutes remaining, so any questions? Thank you.
Any questions, Brian? I have a question. Shocker, right?
Yeah.
So out of the Timmins area, this whole camp, who needs what, and how does GFG fit the bill?
That's a great question. When you think about that map, there's 7 mills. Who has excess mill capacity that's sitting idle? The largest opportunity of those is the Holt Holloway mill, which is Agnico Eagle. So 3,000 tons per day sitting idle. This used to be the St. Andrews assets. So there's an opportunity now. Is that asset actually meaningful to Agnico? I'm not sure about that, but we'll see if they keep it long term. So that's one opportunity to be Agnico. McEwen, Black Fox, Grey Fox production complex. So that's on a tough production profile. I do think that they'd be one of the top of the list looking for opportunities within the space. And if I owned their infrastructure, that's what I would be doing. And then you can look for those that have the largest mills and ability to displace. And I think one of those opportunities would be the new producer in the camp called Discovery Silver. This is Tony McCooch. So they've got a large a mill. It's underutilized. It's very central to all the infrastructure. Ultimately, they need to see value by acquiring something and putting it through their mill. I think excess capacity in their mill would be very targeted. And then you look at who has the most aggressive strategy right now. Alamos is a good strategy. They're our largest shareholder. They have a mill at Young-Davidson. They have the mill at the Island Mine as well, which was just off the line to the west of us there too. So I think Alamos would have a good mandate to act, but I wouldn't say they need to act. So they're in a great position of not needing to act, but having the ability to act. So those are the list of the 3 or 4. that I think would have the most need and the ability to incorporate something like GFG and the ability to incorporate successful discoveries in Timmins.
Would you entertain a new strategic investor? How would Alamos be open to sharing that?
We have 3 companies in our structure right now.
Okay.
Not all of those are public. So, in terms of the share base of our company, Alamos is the most public one. They certainly don't mind us talking about that. We have other ones that participate in us, and we're always open to the right shareholder.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.